This is John from TigitMotorbikes.com, and in this video I'm going to talk about the Honda Blade 110cc semi-automatic. Now in my opinion this is the best, probably second best motorbike for traveling across Vietnam. And actually this company started with the cheap Chinese Honda Winds. We then went all in on the Honda Blade. We had a lot of these bikes at one time, and now we tend to be renting the Honda XR150 as our main bike. But I am surprised by the switch to the XR150 because this is an incredible machine and very, very economical in terms of cost to travel across the country. And that's one of the reasons I'm remaking this video from years ago, because I think it's been lost in time just how good a Honda Blade semi-automatic is.
Welcome to the dinosaur backbone.
Now let me explain. This is our most reliable motorbike for traveling across this country. Everything else, less reliable. This is the easiest and quickest to fix as well. So basically, you got nearly zero chance of a real breakdown, and even if you did, it can be fixed. If you crash it, it can be fixed. Everything's so cheap and cheerful. These semi-automatics are the wheels of Asia, and there is a reason for that. Locals will use this for daily commuting, they'll use it for farming, they'll use it for off-roading. There isn't a single place in this country where you would not see a semi-automatic. Now let me explain, they've got 4 gears but no clutch. So you don't have to worry about anything on your left hand. And the basics really are 1, 2, 3, 4 and 3, 2, 1 neutral. Now what's really cool about these is you can be in any gear going at any speed and they won't stall or cut out. So they can actually be driven just like an automatic, and they can be driven as well just like a manual if you really want to. So if you are a new driver, you can pop this into gear 3 or 4 and just drive out the city like a normal automatic. Another added advantage is if you put it in gear 4, it's got very low acceleration. So if you've got a whiskey throttle, poor throttle control, you can deal with it as you get used to it. I have a whole video on how to drive one of these in great detail, which I'll link to. They're also incredibly light, which is brilliant for rolling up to parking lots, restaurants, fiddling around in traffic. I think something people don't consider, especially people who drive big bikes back home, is just how inconvenient it is to lug around a 200 to 250 kilogram bike. It's so nice just to be able to flick the bike around wherever you want without having to prepare and load up your muscles and things like that. I should also say, I don't promote the idea of driving around in shorts and a t-shirt, but if you're gonna do that, then this is the bike that you want to get, because it feels like it's going really fast, but in actual fact, it's not. It will cruise around 50, 60 with a top speed of maybe 90 and 100, but the average speed feels really, really quick. And this is a bike where you just get up in the morning, you get on the bike, you don't have to worry about many, many different things, you just drive it. I tend to ride either this, and you'll see I have a few vlog videos on the Blade because I absolutely love it, or I go all in on a big bike or a dirt bike. I actually tend to skip out the middle grounds because then you've got all the sorts of motorbike prep that you have to do, but you don't have the top of the line primo bike. This is like, get out the hotel, I'm gonna drive now, and you just get on the bike. It's so cool. Now, this bike can do 2 people and luggage. Power is not the limiting factor, the rack is. If you load it up with too much luggage, the rack will snap, especially under the seat, the 4 screws there. We really don't care, but you should be checking and monitoring it. Generally, your bag will sit on the seat, off the edge a bit, and we'll give you some bungees. What you're trying to do is get the weight off the rack and onto the seat. Downside to this, you do have to take your bag off every time you want to fill up with gas. We provide an optional extension rack that goes on the back like this. And now if you're doing 2 up on the one bike, you can put your bags sideways, 1 and 2. What you don't want to do, just because you've got a nice big rack now, is put the bag way off the back of the bike. The Honda Blade is the most reliable bike we have. It's the cheapest bike we have, and it's the easiest to fix. There's your selling point right there. Now, basically, if you're not a motorcyclist, you just want a set of wheels to get around and enjoy this country, enjoy the culture, and enjoy the scenery. The motorbike doesn't really matter to you, it's just a means of getting about. Then this is the bike that you want to get, a drama-free holiday. And a lot of people are booking bigger bikes. Maybe they can't afford them, maybe they can't drive them, maybe it's pushing their holiday budget a bit. Those sorts of people, downgrade, if you want to call it that. It's not really a downgrade, but get a Honda Blade instead. It's really great. Only downside I can say is that it looks like a scooter, but that really doesn't matter. You blend in with the locals. So another cool feature of this bike, water bottles. It's got its own little rack here. Very, very convenient. You don't get that on the other bikes. The main stand, so basically, normally you're on a side stand here, but the bike's at an angle. It's harder to put your luggage on. You'll have that with XRs, you'll have that with CBs. The Blade, very simple side stand here. Done. Now you've got a nice platform to put your bags on. As I said earlier, this is just your bike where you don't need prep for your daily drive. There's not a lot of things to think about. Do I have inner tubes? Is the bike going to turn on? Do I need to armor up to the moon? No, just drive the bike and enjoy. It's very, very common that people wonder about power. They don't want 110cc. They want to get a 125 or a 150 or a 500. I'll tell you from experience, it's down to the driver and not the bike. Like, look at the stuff you can do on a Blade. I'll do a little standstill wheelie here. Yeah, it's got power. A little donut. The question is, can you ride the bike? Not how much power does it have. Check out how easy this is to maneuver. Love this thing.